Okay, hi. So this is LaQueen again here in Boston Public Commons. I have a young man today. His name is Carlito,
Yeah.
and pretty much we're talking about COVID and the end of the pandemic and how it has impacted him. Again, guys, thank you for supporting me on my YouTube channel. I really do appreciate you guys, as well as to all my supporters for Battle First Aid Responder Services. This is LaQueen Battle, a certified medical assistant for the medical community. I'm a certified medical assistant, adult and pediatric CPR and first aid. And I have Carlito, my first person here today, talking about the end of the pandemic. Okay, so pretty much what we're gonna have a quick discussion on is how has you've been vaccinated?
Yeah.
As well as myself. That's
actually,
good.
Yep.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that experience. How has that experience worked out for you?
I mean, to be honest, I wasn't too sure about getting vaccinated at 1st. I had a lot of questions about just the side effects of the vaccine and if it was effective. I wasn't too sure like which one to get, and then
Moderna, Pfizer.
Yeah, and then hearing like the whole
Johnson.
Johnson and Johnson stuff. With the blood clots and everything. So I just wasn't too sure, but basically I went to go with my mom because I supported her, and basically she was just talking me into it. She was like, well, I'm getting mine, you should get yours too. That way you don't have to worry about it. Everything's gonna start opening up, and we just had a good talk about it, and just being able to kind of just help with society and kind of like do our part to kind of contribute to getting back. You know what I mean? Because we figured it was a matter of time before like enough people got vaccinated so we could have everything getting open and stuff like that. So I don't know. It was a little back and forth, but I got it, and I'm happy that I did. But yeah, it's I don't know. I have my own beliefs about it. I personally think like it's more so, I don't know, because me and my friend was talking about this the other day. Like, I think it's more so about like money and more so about profit, if anything.
Really?
But that's just me, though.
A lot of people have died.
Absolutely.
As you know, the current statistics today shows that has been over 500,000 I don't know if this is right. Quote me on this.
Oh, okay.
100,000 Americans have deceased. Is that right?
I mean, it sounds about right, because I know the number was high, like as of last year, as of 2020. Yeah. So I mean, it's serious. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, it is a serious.
It's a serious
matter.
But yeah, just like I said, that's just my personal on the vaccine. But I still got it though. Like I said, I wanted to help as much as I could to help everyone get back to normal. You know what I mean? Or quote unquote normal, whatever this new normal as they calling it. So yeah, that's pretty much it about that. I mean,
so what do you now that we're speaking to a lot of YouTubers out there have interviewed President Biden, Jackie Akina, Manzi, a lot of YouTubers, they interviewed Dr. Fauci. And Dr. Fauci, right?
Yeah, I know about him.
He has the team, the task force behind the COVID pandemic right now that's leading the nation. So shout out to Jackie and shout out to Manny MUA. Pretty much what's going on right now is that President Biden and his team are really happy. They try to make a goal to over 100 million people, Americans, have been vaccinated, as well as yourself. And as of today, the CDC stats, as well as the World News stats, show that over 300 million Americans have been vaccinated. So do you support that initiative?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I think everyone has the right to the choice, the right to make a choice to be vaccinated or not. And that's good that so many people are like trying to move forward, and they're cool with getting vaccinated, and they're completely 100% cooperative. Like, it's good to know. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously we're always going to have like the opposite side with any situation, but for that number to be that high at this point is good, because I mean the vaccine just came out like a few months ago, right?
A few months ago.
So yeah, and that was the other thing too, is like I feel like for anything new that's being introduced, it's gonna make you like skeptical about it. You know what I mean? So like, you just have to do your own research, but I'm assuming that all those people did, and it's good. I support it. Yeah, I think it's good.
So during the pandemic, a lot of people have lost their lives, like we were talking about before, 100,000, 200,000
Yeah.
people. Did you personally know anybody or have any friends that knew anybody that had passed because of the COVID pandemic?
A friend's uncle, I believe, passed away.
And how old was he?
I'm not too sure. If I had to guess, maybe like 50 plus, maybe.
And it was respiratory?
Well, I didn't get all the details, but he told me that his uncle died of COVID. But he also said like he had other pre-existing conditions. I think he said like he was diabetic.
No,
like,
he was
severely.
diabetic too.
Yeah, so that plus COVID, I'm sure it's I'm sure that complicated.
So it complicated a lot of issues because there are people out there with respiratory issues as well as the pre-existing conditions, as well as a lot of cancer patients out there weren't able to get the services that they need, as well as extreme cases of sickness and illness too. But due to COVID the coronavirus was the main factor and issue.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're probably busy. You probably have somewhere to go.
Yeah. I got time. I got a little time.
You got some time. Good. Okay.
Good.
So now that we're talking,
Just gonna eat my food.
you can get some water if you want. Okay. So now that we're talking, 2020 was a really troublesome year for a lot of people because it was a pandemic.
Absolutely.
The United States economy was going down, as well as unemployment was everywhere.
Yeah.
People lost their jobs, and a lot of people got evicted from their houses. But thank God, because of the eviction moratorium, it was able to keep a lot of people in their homes.
Yes.
Did you go through any major problems? Issues from 2020 in your past? Did you go through any major hurdles that you were able to overcome so far this year? Did you have any major setbacks in 2020?
Yeah, definitely. I had a job in the hotel industry for about 7 years. I was actually AV, audiovisual, setting up for the events and stuff at hotels and conferences and whatnot. And due to the pandemic, I was let go. And
were you put on were you put on furlough or were you let go?
I wasn't. My manager was. Full timers were actually.
So your manager was put on furlough, because your manager was put on furlough. You lost your job because you were underneath him.
Exactly.
So are you able, now that the economy is coming back a little bit, are you able to return back to work?
I mean,
Did they give you that leave of absence? Were you put on a leave of absence?
No.
So you were completely let go.
Yeah, you want to know
because of sales.
Yeah, basically because. Yeah, sales and lack of events. Like people, like all the events that we had booked for the hotels were just immediately canceled, or pretty much like they just never came. You know what I mean? Like it was just a complete freeze on the whole hospitality industry. And they told us, like, I think it was the first week of March, I want to say. Yeah, I want to say like the first week of March or second week of March. They was like, all the events for March got canceled and everything else moving forward is looking like iffy. So, you guys we don't really know what to tell you. We don't have any hours. And I was like, well, what should we do? Like, are we on unemployment? And they basically were like, do what you have to do. And for my job, or for anybody's job to say, do what you have to do, that's kind of like a shock. Like I had like $200 in my bank account. I was waiting for my next check, which was my last check.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh no, that's sad.
Yeah, so I immediately was like, all right, let me get on unemployment. So.
But you were able to come back again.
No, I honestly, what I'm doing now is I'm doing like freelancing.
Okay.
And I have a part-time job, so I didn't go back. I'm probably not going to go back to the hotel industry because it's not going to be what it used to be. Events are going to be smaller. It's not going to. They're not going to need like as many people as they did before for events that pretty much we were counting on. So I'm not going back to that. I mean, it's an unfortunate loss, but I kind of look at it as just like a redirection in life or in the universe, if anything. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like optimistic about certain shit. About certain stuff.
Okay, that's fine.
But I mean, but I mean, like, to be honest, I was in a really like depressive state because I didn't know.
And mental health was a big issue for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I did have a friend who unfortunately passed during COVID.
That's too bad.
And he was also in the service. Mental health is a really big issue, and I'm glad you brought that up. It's something very important to talk about.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So anxiety, depression, illness, those factors, losing your job, unemployment,
Yeah, just
those
uncertainty, instability.
unstable, not being stable.
Right.
Those factors were a lot that hit you hard during
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what guidance did you have to get you through? Was it family, friends? Was it a doctor? Was it a peer support? Was it a counselor? Was it a pastor? Was
Yeah.
it who actually was able to get you through what you were going through? in
Yeah,
2020?
definitely. My friends, my closest friends, the one that I live with, people that I've known for years since high school, college friends, keeping in contact with people, doing FaceTime. Definitely my mom, my dad, cousins. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, the pandemic kind of just showed you like who really is closest to you and who really like cares about you the most, or at least who you can count on most, you know what I mean? But yeah, family and friends, absolutely.
Family and friends were your support system.
Yeah,
that got you
100%.
through.
100%.
Well, that's good. I'm glad because I
100%.
had a